The Song of the Silver Stone. Written by Light Blessings, in the labyrinthine valley of echoes, the shadows stretched long and the air tasted of old regrets. Here every secret shame and heavy mistake transformed into a jagged grey stone. Elian had wandered these paths for years, his body bent like a willow under the weight of a massive burlap sack. The burden was so immense that he had forgotten the colour of the sunrise, seeing only the dusty trail beneath his boots. The stones within the sack were not merely heavy, they were haunted by a cold, persistent dissonance. When the mountain winds howled, the stones rattled and hissed, whispering the thoughts Elian tried most to bury you are nothing but your failures. They droned. This weight is the only thing that belongs to you. The cacophony of his own shame was a barrier between Elian and the rest of the world. One twilight, near a grove of trees with leaves that shimmered like hammered silver, Elian encountered a woman named Veda. She sat in a pool of soft light. Her posture upright and unburdened, in her lap rested a delicate wooden harp. As her fingers moved, a melody emerged that seemed to pierce through the heavy fog of the valley, carrying a warmth that Elian hadn't felt in a lifetime. "How can you sit so lightly in a place made of lead?" Elian asked. His voice cracked from disuse. Veda reached into a small pouch at her side and produced a single radiant silver pebble. It glowed with a steady, peaceful light. "I once carried a mountain of obsidian," she replied softly. "But I learned the alchemy of song. I learned that these stones are not who I am. They are merely lessons I have finally decided to name." Veda began to hum a low, resonant note that vibrated in the very marrow of Elian's bones. In response, the grey stones in Elian's sack began to thrash violently. They did not want the light. They thrived in the dark silence of his secrecy. The bag lurched and groaned, the stones hissing like cornered serpents trying to drown out the silver thread of Veda's music. "Your turn, Elian," Veda urged. Elian's heart hammered against his ribs. He felt a sudden, sharp terror, the fear that if he spoke his truth, he would shatter completely. His throat felt as though it were filled with the same grey dust that coated the valley floor. To sing was to be seen, and to be seen was the one thing his shame would not allow. Veda stepped closer, the light from her silver stone reflecting in her eyes. She reached out and placed a steadying hand on Elian's arm. "Perfection is a cage. Elian," she whispered, "this song isn't for the world to judge. It is for your heart to breathe. Don't fight the weight. Just recognize the light that has been trapped beneath it all along." Closing his eyes, Elian reached for a memory of kindness, a moment when he had helped a stranger or felt the wonder of the stars. He let out a single, shaky note. It was thin and fragile at first, but as he leaned into the sound, it grew into a golden resonance. The burlap sack didn't just glow. It began to pulse in perfect time with the rhythm of his heartbeat. With a final soaring crescendo, the sack burst asunder. The jagged grey stones did not hit the ground. Instead, they dissolved into a cloud of shimmering iridescent butterflies. Elian's voice rang out clear and powerful. The shame spoke so loudly we thought it was true, but deep underneath it, something in us broke through. We are not what we carried, not what was said. We are the truth that was living within us. Instead, Elian looked at his hands, which felt light and capable. The valley no longer seemed like a prison of echoes, but a wide open stage. He looked at Veda and shared a smile of silent understanding. Together, they turned toward the horizon, where the sun was finally cresting the peaks, their voices rising in a harmony that promised to turn every stone in the valley to silver.